All right. Welcome, guys. I believe we are live on air. We're just going to talk for a few minutes to make sure it's coming through live. And once I confirm that, and I just did, we'll go ahead and get started, man. We'll go ahead and get started with the introductions here. Give me a second. You're going to hear this. You're probably hearing that ad there playing in the background. Apologize for that. But anyway, guys, now I do see that we're live, so welcome. Welcome to the latest episode of the Sim Standard Podcast, episode 213. Believe it or not, guys, I've been getting feedback on that. People said we should always announce the episode, even though it's put in the title. Hey, I'm going to do whatever y'all want us to do. So I've gotten feedback that we should announce the episode. I've gotten more feedback, Smitty. I've been advised that we should rip the audio and put it up on iTunes, so I may look into doing that. And I've also gotten feedback. People say they actually prefer no cameras. Not that they didn't enjoy that, but they said it's easier for them to just listen or whatever. I don't know. That's fine as well. So great. So hopefully we're doing everything you guys want us to do, and we're happy to be doing it. So anyway, man, not a whole lot to talk about tonight, as you guys probably can tell by the title. But I think this will fill a good amount of the show. If anything else comes up in the time being, in the chat, we'll chime in. But what we really want to talk about tonight, man, is, as you're seeing it there, has Madden 19 reached its lowest point? And that's the question. There's a lot that we can cover around that area. There's so many different, branches of that tree that we can go down. So we'll definitely get it cracking there. And again, if you guys have any topics for us, man, please share them in the chat, and we'll try to chime in the best we can. But I think this is going to be an interesting show, Smitty, once we dive into it, because there's so many facets and so much information that may come out of this. Some things that I've been mulling over myself that I'll share with everybody. So there you have it. But before we do that, guys, y'all know it's football season, so we're going to definitely throw it to Smitty. And first, we're going to ask Smitty how was his week, as well as how he currently feels about his Detroit Lions.
Well, I'm feeling good, like week pretty good, but I'm feeling good about the Lions. That was a that was a huge win. That was a huge win on Sunday there against the Patriots. And, and I mean, how are they going to roll it? Really don't know. People are talking a little bit positive, but it's more like we got to win the next game. You know what I'm saying? And really see what's going on after that. But, I mean, that right there was a great performance. If the Lions can come out and play like that, and I understand the Patriots are a bit decimated and everything else. I get all that. But at the same time, it was the exact same thing when we were decimated. When, we would have key injuries and all that stuff, we were still expected to win no matter what. So it doesn't change here. These guys play ball. If they play ball like this, honestly, we'd have a winning record right now. We might. Oh no, I wouldn't even say we lost. I wouldn't even say we wouldn't have lost to the Jets either. We definitely wouldn't have lost to them. So we did a decent job. You know what I'm saying? Secondary play, getting pressure to the QB, running game. The first 100-yard rushing game in a few years. It's since what was that, 20? How many years has it been? Since I think it's been 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
Since we've had a 100-yard rusher,
was Reggie Bush the last one to do it?
Reggie Bush. That's
wow.
Right. Yep. When we had Reggie Bush. So that's a mighty long time right there. Yeah, 2014 since we had a 100-yard rushing game from Kerryon Johnson. So hey man, I'm very excited about that. We'll see what these cats do, this week. I'm just look, as long as these guys can roll, even if there's like a health situation going on, I just hope that these guys can roll. That these guys can roll this week and get another win. Because, I mean, that's the key thing that we got to have. I mean, I know we're going into Dallas and facing the Cowboys, so it's not like we got an easy task there. And then after that, I think we have the week. No, we don't have a week off. We play the Packers here after that, and then we got a week off, and then we play the Dolphins on the 21st. So yeah, Lions got a ways to go, but they have a chance to do some real work. So I'm very confident in these guys. So I'm just hoping for the best.
Well, that last word that you said, I can't share that. I can't say I'm very confident. Man, listen, real quick, guys, just to give you a recap in case you haven't watched football or whatever. Like Smitty just said, Detroit Lions did their thing. Smitty and I, neither one of us thought that they were going to win the game before the game.
Yeah.
And I'm sure while we were watching it, we were in amazement. Not overly shocking, though. I mean, you know, if you take the big momentum thing into consideration, you know, Patricia had a lot to prove, a lot to play for, you know, going against his, you know, what most people would say, you know, is the big brother, if you will. You know, he's the understudy. You know, it was a lot to prove, and I think the team got up for him. And, you know, the Patriots might not be that great this year so far. You know, it's early. And then looking at the Steelers game, guys, y'all know how I feel. You know, by the time y'all hear my thoughts here on Thursdays, most of you have already seen Terrible Towel Tuesday or the Terrible Towel post-game show, whatever. But just to keep it real quick and simple, even though the defense was getting some turnovers, I still wasn't excited because it wasn't like they were splash plays. A lot of that was Fitzpatrick, you know, making the wrong throw or making an errant throw. There was one when him and Mike Evans was kind of on the opposite, you know, spectrum there. They weren't on the same page, even though I still think that would have been a tight coverage. And then the one he threw to Bud Dupree, you know, Big Dan McCullough's got a hand in his face, you know, pressure, busts his pipes, threw a pick six, great. Okay, we go into the half, it was 30-10 or something like that. And all of a sudden, here come that ugly head start to rearing itself, guys. The defense, the secondary play, oh God. And needless to say, we end up winning the game 30-27. Now, some people, Smitty, try to say, oh, the offense should have scored more. Let me tell you something. If your offense produced 30 points in an NFL game, that's more than enough to win a football game, in my opinion. If your defense shows up at all. You know, you can't – think about that. We can't be expecting our offenses, every team now. I'm speaking of just across the board. You can't be acting like every team, you know, you forcing them to put up 30 or more points. That's a lot of points. What about the defense getting some stops? How about that? You know, so, oh, man, I'm not confident. It's early, but the only problem with this early story with us, Smitty, is us Steelers fans have seen this same story for the last 3 or 4 years. Oh, let's wait until the later part of the season and see what happens. And what has happened, guys? We've gotten a little better throughout the year. We get into the playoffs, and the ugly secondary shows its head once again. Whether it's the AFC Championship game against Tom Brady or it's Blake Bortles in the divisional game. I don't like what I'm seeing, and I don't know what kind of season we're going to have. I'm not confident even going against these Ravens here on Sunday in Heinz Field. Ravens have gotten better offensively. We'll see. But confidence would not be the word for me. But anyway, I'm all for that. So, all right, guys, this is how it's going to work tonight, man. I know some of you guys may want to come on and share your thoughts. I know Brett Lee, you know, just to bring you guys up to speed with him. You know, Brett has been on a few times. He's a former developer at EA Sports, worked on Madden, Fight Night, games of that nature. He wants to definitely come on and share some of his thoughts. We'll be happy to have him on a little bit later. And anybody else. I see shout outs to Expert Corner. X is in here. You guys should know Expert by now. Did a great job covering Madden at EA Play. Got a whole bunch of people on his podcast as well. Myself and Smitty have been on there, and quite a few others. So shout outs to Expert X. We'll extend the invitation to you as well if you want to come on and, you know, give a little bit of, you know, information, give your piece on how you feel about where Madden has become up to this point. Feel free to do that. And just a heads up, guys, if we get multiple people, you know, we want to, again, you know, and some of you have heard me repeat this on Terrible Towel. I want to get it to a point where if you guys are calling in regularly, you know, we kind of keep a little structure where, you know, we have you call in, you give you a few minutes, you know, 3 to 4 or 5 minutes or so, and then we'll have to move on. So we'll do it like that. So hopefully we get a lot of requests tonight, and we'll be happy to get you guys in. But let me bring everybody up to speed, man, because Smitty and I, most of the time, and, you know, sometimes Azure, when he's able to chime in, we usually kind of discuss the topics beforehand. We didn't have a whole lot to talk about today, man, so I kind of put this topic together. Basically, we just want to talk about the current state of Madden NFL 19. Has it reached its lowest point? You guys may have seen me put a video out recently. I will post a link here if you haven't seen it. Just, it's at a point now where there's so many bugs that are happening, and even deeper than that, it's frustrations that Smitty and myself have, and others alike, that it's starting to get to a point, Smitty, where I don't know, man. I don't, and we'll dive into it. I don't want to give too much away, but I don't know how to feel about where this game is going. And I'm going to share some information with you guys, man, that I probably haven't even had a chance to tell Smitty yet, because it just happened, you know, earlier today. Matter of fact, Smitty, I'll kick it off with that. Okay. Let's just say, guys, that Smitty and I and Azure, we've been very good with being ahead of the curve, if you will. Like, keeping our eyes open, seeing things before they develop. And, you know, I recommend everybody do that in life, period. Regardless of what you're talking about. For you young guys who are listening to us, you know, listen to your big brothers and trust what we're telling you. You always want to be ahead of the curve. You always want to keep your third eye open and see what's happening. So that way when things happen, it doesn't catch you off guard. So let me give you guys a timeline, and let me at least tell you guys what I'm talking about. Let's phrase it like this. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to word this the right way, Smitty. I wouldn't be surprised if the day comes where a guy like SimFBallCritic and Smitty and Azure is potentially phased out of having as much relevance to the Game Changer program. Let me explain to you guys what I'm trying to say. Do I think that's happening right now? No. But I had a conversation earlier, and I'm not going to, you know, definitely not going to say with whom. And I've been seeing the writing on the wall for quite a while. And again, I'm not saying that this won't happen or will happen. I'm just saying I'm prepared for the day that it could happen because my third eye is open. So let's rewind a couple years ago, right? Man, maybe 3-4 years ago. Very first interview I had publicly with Rex Dixon. It was at EA, no, not EA Play. It was actually at E3. Yep. Smitty and I went there. That was the first time. No, it wasn't. I'm tripping. I was about to say that was the first time me and Smitty met. And I'm tripping. We met years ago at EA, but me and Smitty went out there together that year. That's what I was trying to say. Now, at the end of the interview, Rex proceeds to tell you guys how much he appreciates myself and the Sim Standard, you know, including all of us. And he said, you know, you guys were what I needed when I came on board. You know, I demanded that. I had people reach out to you guys and thank you for everything you guys have done. That was a great moment. You know, not that I didn't think that we had influence, but it's always cool to hear somebody tell you, look, man, I really appreciate what you've done for us, blah, blah, blah. Y'all know what I'm saying. Just like at your job. You know, you don't care about compliments and all that, but, you know, it's okay when your boss tell you that, listen, I'm noticing what you're doing. We taking notice to that. Great, right? So, next couple years, you start hearing us being called out in their playbooks. You know, they say stuff like, okay, I know that's not what my Sim Standard guys want, but we're getting there. All this kind of recognition. So we fast forward to, what was it, Smitty, around May-ish? Yeah, May of 2018, this year. Rex Dixon is no longer with EA Sports. What did Rex Dixon say? Rex Dixon said to you guys, you know, we thought it was the best for both parties. You know, a lot of jargon, but he basically told you guys in pretty simple English, there was a creative difference between myself and, you know, higher ups. If you couldn't read between those lines, he had told you blatantly before in podcasts that he appeared on and or his own streams. He very candidly told us how there's an internal battle. A lot of times I'm dealing with people who don't even care about football or don't know football, etc., right? We know that story. Now that he's gone, it just seems like what Smitty and I continue to tell you guys is very, very, very in our face right now in terms of what the powers that be deem to be important or priority. So I have a conversation today, right? And y'all know me. If y'all don't know anything else about me, I'm going to always keep it a buck. For you guys that don't know that slang, I'm going to keep it 100. For you guys that don't know that slang, I'm going to keep it real. I have no choice but to do that. That is my personality. And I put that over anything. I put that over a relationship or money. That's first. That's a part of my character. It's a part of me. One of my core principles. I don't compromise with that. So I have a conversation today, right? And it wasn't directed to me, but it was more or less confirming what I've been thinking. I've been thinking for a while, guys. I'm going to take you guys down a timeline really quick. I've been thinking for several months now that I wonder how the powers that be look at people like myself. When, if you hear the Sim Standard Radio and we going in on Madden, you heard my brother Smitty. Y'all heard my brother Smitty go on beautiful tangents. I gotta say that, Smitty. Don't be bashful and shy about me complimenting you there, brother. But I mean, some beautiful rants. I mean, some of Smitty's rants in the last months or so have been classic. I ain't have to say a word. I love it because he's kicking the real. Smitty is fed up. He's tired of this nonsense. I know. Trust me, Smitty and I talking real quick. Round of applause to Antoine.
Oh, big ups with the donation, Antoine, excuse me.
We'll take a moment to lighten the mood. Now let's get back in. So, I've always wondered, Smitty, how do they view us now? Because we kind of sounded like Rex a little bit, which we have been. But it seems like these things would amplify a little bit when the person who was riding for you ain't there no more. Okay, so let me give y'all the conversation. I put out a video. Some of you guys have seen it. I'm going to post a link here. And again, the person that I spoke to was not blaming me, so I want to preface it by saying that if he sees this video, you already know what it is, man. This is not a personal to you. I know what you said wasn't personal to me. We actually were sharing opinions. You know, we both kind of were sharing opinions and agreeing on some things. So it's not like it was an attack on me, an attack on him, whatever. But he made reference of how the program is being viewed by the powers that be in terms of certain individuals. You know, people that are maybe so going against the grain. And I heard reference of, you know, some of the titles people are using in their videos. And, you know, we proceeded to talk. And, you know, I proceeded to say, well, you know, I don't clickbait or anything like that. He wasn't accusing me of doing that either. But at the end of the day, like, I could easily be that person. I'm going to keep it very real with y'all. I'm trying to be a full-time content creator. If I do, I will. Great. If I don't, I'm still great. I'm fine. I have a career. But if I really wanted to just shoot up the charts and it's like what I like to call microwave popcorn. If I want to be hot really quick, it's an easy blueprint out there for me to just clickbait and attack certain things and boom, I'm off and running. I don't want it like that. I want to build my channel the way it's always been. Me being real. Me not doing something just for a look, just for a view, etc., etc. I want the channel that I build and what I've built so far has been off of me. Nothing else. So anyway, you look at the title of my last video. It says, Madden 19 could literally make you throw up. And then I said, where is the awareness? Trust me, folks, that's not clickbait. What I do with my videos, and you guys probably notice it, I title them exactly what I'm feeling at that moment. I don't premeditate it. Matter of fact, and some of y'all might not know this, Smitty, it's funny because I heard Marcus was saying this when he interviewed Dougie. And Marcus is not who I'm talking about, by the way. But he was saying that he finds it fascinating. You know, he asked a question. He's like, "Hey, man, do you pre-script your commentaries?" And he found it amazing that Dougie said he doesn't do all of his scripted. Sometimes he just goes off the cuff. And I hit him up. I said, "Yo, I'll tell you something you would never believe. I have never pre-scripted any video. Not one. Not one. Everything is off the cuff." And the reason why I say that is because I see stuff. I say, "Oh, I'm making a video on that." And with the first thing that comes to my mind, that's the title. So anyway, that is kind of a negative title, ain't it? So if you are in charge of a company or whatever, or the company's best interest, and you see someone in a program that you sponsor talking about the game like that, might not make you feel that good. Point I'm making here, guys, is it's a lot of sensitivity that's happening out here. Smitty pointed that out with NBA Live. Y'all remember that? It's a lot of sensitivity going on, man, amongst owners of company, devs in some scenarios. Now, I'm not talking about any of the Madden devs, me personally, unless these things are being said when we don't talk. But guys like, again, A-Dub, that's my man, 100 grand. I know he don't feel away at all when I make a video like that. You know, guys like RG. I would assume guys like Clint. But at the end of the day, I'm not in that building. So all I'm saying, guys, is to bring it home, it's gotten to a point where the real me got to be me, man, at all times. And if that means, and what I'm saying is I can see the future, it could mean that it creates a rift between me and the relationship with EA. It is what it is. Now, again, I don't know if this is happening. I'm just saying your boy is peeping from afar with the, 1,000, a 1,000 times zoom on binoculars. Like, I see it. So it ain't gonna surprise me if it comes. I see it coming if it comes. But it might, it might turn around and go the other way. Might not ever get here. But I see it coming. So I'm just letting everybody know now that I'm not gonna stop doing what I'm doing. And if those powers that be are listening, I'm letting you know I'm not gonna stop being me. I'm not about no agenda. I'm not doing any of that. I am not satisfied with this game. And we're going to talk very candidly about why we're not satisfied tonight. And Smitty, before I throw it to you, here's the funny part about Madden. And I think you share this sentiment. We don't think that Madden 19 is complete trash. All it needs to do, it needs an upgrade. That's it. I'm going to tell y'all a real quick funny story because I'm on my tangent real quick, Smitty, then I'm going to throw it to you. But you know how I always like to use references that most of you guys out there can understand. So when your boy was in high school, right? I had this funny thing that I used to like to do. I used to like to, have y'all ever seen that movie, what was it called? think it was called Can't Hardly Wait or something like that. But anyway, the premise of the movie, I might have the title wrong, but the premise of the movie was they'd take this girl that's supposed to be like, quote unquote, the busted girl and turn her into the homecoming queen, right? I always liked to do that when I was in high school. Whether I dated the girls or not, it wasn't about that. A lot of these girls was friends of mine because, believe it or not, I was very smart in school. So a lot of times I'm in advanced class or whatever. And I'm in the class with these girls that have no idea how pretty they are, right? All they needed was an upgrade. So as a friend, I would be like, look, you should do this. You should do that with your hair. You should do this. You should wear this. Da-da-da. Next thing you know, everybody wants her. And they looking at me like, wow, like I never would have saw that in myself. She's all that. There you go.
Yeah, she's all that.
That's the one. Laney Briggs. So that was me. And I know some of y'all probably laughing at that, but that was me. And it was just for fun. Like I said, most of these girls was just friends of mine. And maybe one or two of them I might have dated later. But they were just friends of mine. I was like, yo, I'm telling you, you are a knockout. You just don't know it. That's Madden. If Madden could upgrade in the right areas, it's out of here. Some of y'all don't believe that, but trust me, it would be out of here. Could be gone.
Yeah.
All it has to do is change the fundamental problem, Smitty. And I'm starting to think and realize that it's the code. It's got to be the code because, again, guys like A-Dub are implementing coverage rules and all that, but the problem is the new technology is hindered by bad code. It's like it negates it, because every now and then you'll see something happen in Madden and you'll be like, whoa, okay, and the very next play, here comes the dumbfounded DB again. He doesn't know left from right. He don't know the receivers right there. He has no idea what's happening. See, that's code, man.
Yeah.
And last thing I'll say on that, and then we're going to dive very deep into it. Remember when Rex said they need to go in and fix a lot of the old legacy code and all of that?
Yep.
When would the suits allow them time to do that?
Very true.
It makes me wonder, are we ever going to get it, Smitty? I don't know, man. And it's... I want to save some for the rest of the show, man, but it's so much I want to go into. Look, Neff said, he said Madden in the sunken place. But Laney Briggs, man, we can make Laney Briggs. We can make Madden the Laney Briggs of sports titles. But I just don't believe I don't know. I don't think they want to do it. And we ain't gonna stop giving y'all crap, man. We're not. So I just see it, Smitty. I see maybe one day we're gonna bump heads, and it is what it is. But what you think, man? Like, has it reached its lowest point right now as far as game? I don't want to say quality, but just the way it's producing this gameplay.
Well, see, my feeling is this, and see, this is what we spoke on a few weeks ago. Oh, no, not a few weeks ago. Like, well, yeah, but I'll say probably like a month or so ago, something like that. This is a situation. Madden made two big implementation moves. And mind you, you still have the old legacy code in the game, right? You still have it in there. You made the move over to Frostbite. We know things that we won't diverge publicly, but it was rough. It was rough to say the least to make that move. Then you go ahead and you bring in this RPM tech. These are things that are good things.
Vital.
But the problem is, yeah, even vital. But it's just stuff that's like it's like you gotta see the beauty. You gotta see the beauty in it all before actually seeing the beauty come to fruition. So it's like, dang, that's what people will look at you big crazy about it. But see, this is where the frustration comes to a head, because just like Sim's video, we've made that point many times over. It's just a different title, a different video, a different title, another video, another stream, another this, another that, another discussion, etc., etc. How many times Sim showcases examples of Madden where you see guys contextually don't do what they're supposed to do. At the same time, I've done videos in the past, both public and private feedback, all that good stuff, where I bust out NFL 2K5 and I'm like, look at the zone coverage. Look what they're doing when the receiver passes through their zone. Look how they just don't return to their neutral spot and they carry it out, or they at least put a cushion between them and the next level of defense. Look how they're trying to put themselves in the path of the play, and so that way they can potentially make a play on the ball, potentially make a stop. Not saying they will, but potentially make a stop, potentially contribute to that play. And you can logically look at, for the most part, and say, oh, okay, you know what? That even though he didn't make the stop, that play made sense. That situation made sense there, so why it went out, it played out the way it did. You see what I'm saying? Madden, we can't say that. Like you said, like what Sim said. You could say that in instances, but you can't say that for the majority. Because the problem here is that, like what Sim said, they play their zone to a certain point, and then they go back to a neutral spot and just stand there. They play defense, go back to a neutral spot. Sometimes they drop straight back into coverage based upon their, the play design defensively, and it's like, why not move? Why not drop back into position, but move in the vicinity of where the defense, where the route is being ran, where that player is being ran. It shouldn't all have to be, I got to audible this, audible that, audible this, audible that, shift this, shift that, shift, move, and then they do it.
No, Smitty, you telling me that when people tell us, you just got to use it, that guy. That don't solve the problem, Smitty?
No, that don't solve the problem. Hey, look, let me tell you something.
Oh, God, man.
Let me tell you something. This lets you know that it's getting real out here in the streets.
Low point, baby.
When my man Zan, okay? When my man Zan, and big shout out to Zan, shout out to him. When he is going out here on Twitter, not just the one tweet he said, but when he's going back and forth with people, and he's saying these cats don't want fundamental football to happen out here. They just want to use these exploitations that work, and that's it. They're not trying to use. They don't want to use logical plays. They don't want to use illogical set. When I see that kind of conversation happening on that side of the fence, come on. That's saying a lot. You see what I'm saying? And we're talking about how, and even in his video, he's talking about football logic and how it's not functioning properly. That's the same stuff that we talk about when we talk about the simulation aspect of the game. See what I'm saying? And I see guys bringing up APF and making entry. Listen, APF secondary defense is way worse than Madden, so to even reference that's a big mistake.
Whoa! Did you really say that, Smitty?
Yeah, it's facts.
No, that game was perfect.
Oh no! See, people see the tweets of people showcasing the little highlights. No. See, if you actually showcase the defensive play in APF is just as good as it was in Madden 13. That's it. It's no better. So when you think that it's better than this, don't get caught up in the animations. It's not that good. You see what I'm saying? It's not that dang on good. Okay? It has beautiful looking animations, but they do a lot of irrational stuff out there on the field. A lot of people standing around covering grass. I'm telling you, it's the same thing happening in that game as well. So, but like we've said 10 billion times, we would love to have competition back into the fold, because ultimately, this is what you think. What do you think Clinton all them want? That helps them out. with them making the game the way that they want to do. You see what I'm saying? But once again, back to the point at hand here is that yes, with all this being said, do I like Madden 19? Yes. Is this game the coupe du jour though? No, because there's too much static play on defense. And see, once again, my man NY Kia, outstanding, huge shout out to him. All the breakdowns, my man did an hour on cover 4. Like, I mean, dude, look, this is the problem. For all of that science, for all of that knowledge and everything else, I mean, my man went Sorcerer Supreme with the football knowledge there. It all is a wash when you hit snap and they do stuff like what I just explained, and they do stuff like what happened in Sim's video. And the thing is, it's not like that play is an anomaly. That's the norm. And that's the part that's messed up, is that that's the norm. And that takes away from the work that A-Dub does. And that makes it, you know, a unplayable, you know, that's what renders the game unplayable when you have that stuff happen. And like I said, yeah, it's too many, and that's what this is why we talked about this in the past, and then I'll throw it back to you, Sim. They gotta have streaming as a service, because when you make this game, and I know with, you know, when you look at Steam and you look at how they have Project Greenlight, and they got games that are still in early access, but they're released though. That's the kind of stuff that would be perfect to see happen with Madden, especially NBA Live. Okay, and y'all didn't heard me when I streamed yesterday. I went thoroughly going through, because there are people that really get on my nerves with NBA Live and how they're defending it so bad when that game has problems. I mean, some problems in comparison to 2K. And then they try to act like 2K and Live are in the same boat. No, they are not. Not even close.
Live is in a kayak.
Yeah, a kayak with a bunch of holes in it. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of holes in it, and they patched it up with some old dried up bubble gum. Like, they seriously think that's no. No. But no, with APF, and I mean, look, I'll say this about APF again. APF has beautiful animations that showcase football, and see, that's what I'm talking about. The visual fidelity with the animations they give you, plus the key word, that C word, the control, for the most part. But the problem is, there's a lot of football principles that game lacks, regardless, in spite of the control that it gives. You see what I'm saying? That's the issue. And I mean, look, and we're not arguing perfection. Let's kill that whole perfection thing. None of these games are perfect. But the crazy thing is, there's a game in FIFA, there's a game in PES, there's a game in NHL, there's a game called MLB The Show. Like, when those games do what they do in theirs, and then we see what Madden isn't hitting on, we can't even do that whole perfection thing. You see what I'm saying? We can kill that perfection talk. We're not saying this game's got to be perfect. It's got to be everything that. No, we're just saying hit. We're just saying hit on a harder level. You know, hit on a harder level than what you currently have. Give us control on the offense and defensive line. Give us that secondary line. We play franchise modes, even if regardless of what mode you play. Just the same thing like we said about basketball with Live. The principle of the sport has to be replicated in principle, done the right way. It has to be that the purity of it at its core has to be replicated properly. It doesn't matter what mode you play. I don't care what card they have, what weekend league, any of that. It doesn't matter. The core principle of football, regardless if you play sim, comp, or arcade, should always hold true. Always. And when principles like coverage principles and scheme principles and quarterback reactions, running backs, how they carry the ball, like, that's still problematic. You know what I mean? Like, when you have these elements that are still a problem in the game right now, this is what I'm talking about. That take away, that kill the immersion and makes and kills the value and the retention of the user wanting to continue to play that game. That's why I mentioned those other titles. NHL, PES, FIFA, all those other games, MLB. You don't even have to be a baseball fan, but it's like, dang man, this game got me hooked. I mean, shout out to my man Lex Marzin. He played full season of MLB, the entire season, every game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You see what I'm saying? That when a game gives you that immersion, and he's a big time franchise guy, and it's like when you get that immersion along with the principal core gameplay, that's a complete package. That's it. That's all I'm talking about. That's all we're saying, and we've been saying this kind of thing when it comes to Madden for a while. That's all we're talking about at the end of the day. So I'll throw it back to you, Sim.
Yeah, man, and I want to give a shout out to NY Kia anyway, because just to let you guys know the type of stuff that we talk about. So Kia left a comment on my video, as well as he hit us up in our group chat on Twitter. He said that play that I called, he doesn't think it was cover 4 drop. I wasn't quite sure. I thought that's what I called in that scenario, but I probably did call protect the sticks. And then Kia proceeded to explain to me what the problem is with protect the sticks in the game, as well as, he reminded us and let us know that, of course, in cover 4 drop, there's no reroute rules and things like that. And that's why what I was prefacing in the video too, when I said it shouldn't really matter. Like, the play call does matter, but in real football, people react to what's happening on the field. Now, people are going to challenge that, Smitty, and they're going to say, well, it's a video game. Oh, okay, I understand that. But y'all remember when FIFA, for years now, they implemented where the AI starts recognizing what you're doing and they adjust to what. This is what we're saying. Other games have AI systems that behave more like a human. I don't care what the zone coverage is. If you see anybody in the NFL react the way that Morgan Burnett did in that video I posted, he might be kicked out of football. Nobody would do that. Nobody in history would just completely void the man that's running right at them in their zone. They don't do that. And if you looked at what Joe Hayden was doing, nobody in his area. Now, I know people can argue that and say, oh, well, maybe he couldn't get there. I get all of that. But you're not going to tell me that the AI is engaged in the game. There's no situational AI at all. It's too much of a lot of times in the game, man, it seems like they're just going to an area and they're playing the quarterback and they don't even pay attention to the guy who's coming running right at them. Think about the times in Madden, right, where your free safety is playing. You're playing a cover 3, for instance. He's got a post coming right at him, or tight end down the seam. Only person in his area. What do? What do? They keep drifting and drifting and drifting and drifting and drifting and drifting and came through dripping.
Yeah,
they just drift. And then all of a sudden, oh, wait. Is he going to catch it? Oh, let me react, because y'all remember the other play I posted a couple days ago. Same kind of situation where the safety just watched. Y'all remember the play I showed where I was man, controlling the guy underneath, and even Kia came on that video and said, man, that was a horrible throw by your opponent. You actually made the right read there. I was playing the underneath coverage and I was expecting my safety to at least be in position. What did he do? Drift. Let the ball get caught. Then he slow motions and then he tries to get there. And that both of those plays, guys, that I've showed are from league games. It's making it incredibly difficult to play this game competitively. And, and I do it against the CPU as well, because obviously, I have the series that I'm doing as far as content. But it's crazy, man. I can't. I'm sick of it, Smitty. I'm really tired of it because I think maybe we know too much. We kind of know the challenges that these guys are facing. All of that beautiful work. You know what's funny, Smitty? It's the same thing you said a year or two ago about 2K. Matter of fact, I think you said it last year. When you were saying all of the great work that was put in the game, but then it, you know, certain things override that. We ain't hearing that much this year. Game has actually improved.
Yeah, definitely improved.
You know what I mean? And this is all we're asking out of Madden. These are the same problems year in and year out. Same problems. And it's, my confidence level is very low, man. It's very, very, it's in the basement right now, man. I mean, again, because I know people listen to this show, and I appreciate you guys. You guys know who I'm talking about that listen. I have all the confidence in the world with you guys. I understand that it's not about that. I understand it's not about the lack of work by the development team. Yes, we have to hold them accountable for what's in the game and the bugs, etc., etc. That's the nature of the business. But if we are to believe that it's a core problem underneath the hood, they have to be given the time to go back and clean that stuff up. Go back and recode. And think about it. Look at the trenches. The trenches is like, it's just vanilla. You're either going to win or you're not. There's no fight. You still get stonewalled in situations where you can't move. And I'm talking about, you know, all Madden. And I'm always going to refer to all Madden because guess what 2K did this year? They were so kind enough to explain to you the differences, and shout outs to Czar, between the difficulty settings and how they replicate difficulty. And I thought it was done way better. Way better than what Madden does. When he said, Hall of Fame, yeah, you probably don't want to play up there, but the way we make Hall of Fame what it is, we're expecting that you getting a green release every time. Every single time. If not, I mean, you can't even be a smidget off, you might not make the shot.
Yep.
Superstar, a little bit like that, but a little less. Then what did he say? All-Star is probably where you want to play at if you want to, you know, if you really want that real balance, that's probably where you want to play. They didn't say anything about the game cheating you. They didn't say anything about you can't be successful on those levels. You can still use your football knowledge, basketball knowledge to win. They didn't say anything about ratings being boosted. But in Madden, we're playing on all Madden in our league. You try to get pressure as a user, just forget it. I can't generate no pressure. And listen, maybe it's because it's TJ Watt and Bud Dupree. Just maybe. But at least get the trenches to where it's a fight going on. That stalemate, man, where they're just standing there, patty cake. I'm so sick of that, man. I mean, we all want ratings to dictate who's good and who's not, but not on that level to where you just can't do anything. Cause I don't know, man. It's let me see, Miss Smitty. What else do I not like? And I definitely want to get Brett on here in a moment. Let's talk about that patch, Smitty. Correct me if I'm wrong, but are you still seeing some of the stuff that was reported to be fixed from that patch?
In the Madden, from that Madden update?
Yeah.
Shoot, I'd have to go back. I don't remember the notes and everything offhand. I mean, I'd have to go through that and look. But man. I mean, like, is the game feeling like this night and day big time difference or what have you? Like, am I getting that out of it? No.
Absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I will say this. I definitely appreciate everything that franchise was given as far as an update, because that was cool. That's cool, but see, once again, when your mode is very dry and doesn't have a lot. And I know this is more, like we already said before, it's a starting point for what they're doing in the mode. Because of that, it's not really going to get a lot of weight like, oh, yo, they did, hey, man, whoo, boy, they just did some work. Like, no, it's not going to be looked at like that. It's going to be like, oh, okay, like, that's cool that they added these in, but now we got to see them build upon it. But, you know, the thing is, Sim, and I mean, yes, like you always, like you've been saying, the big time problem when it comes to Madden is that, you know, Madden they do a lot, they do a lot of, you know, playing in the trenches and stuff like that. The game is very static. You know, it's very static and not really giving you a whole lot to work with. You know, it like I want to see it. I want to see the game get a heck of a lot better than what it is, man. And I mean, I have belief in these guys to get it done, and we've already said that. But there needs to be more traction, like legitimate traction, every single year when it comes to the game. And we really I don't know. I just don't know. Like, are we really gonna get that while we're, you know, as far as the next Madden? I mean, could we be just giving wishful thinking? Could we just be jumping the gun a little bit? It's possible, but at the same time, it's been so many years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So because of that so many years factor, and plus, yes, we have that internal knowledge of what's going on, and it's like we've already spoke on that, so it's not like we're rescinding our comments. But this is what it's like. It still is a frustrating, you know, aspect of knowing. It does make it frustrating because of that, you know. So it's like I just want control. That's the big thing. Give me control over what I'm doing, what I'm especially in the trenches. Give me my control. I hate this concept of we give you the control and then we take it away. We give you the control, then we take it away. Y'all had it in NCAA 14 with the analog stick. You took it away. Added the buttons. Put the buttons in and keep the analog. Keep the options. We talked about MLB The Show a billion times, how they just add controls and keep it all. They ain't take none of that stuff out yet. It's still there. Keep it in there. Once it doesn't need to be took out. You know?
Yeah. Like, what was the reason to do that? Like, I really would love to know why that decision was made.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. And I mean, if somebody is saying it's too tough, well, you're just going to have to get tough. Get tough or get going. Seriously. You can't keep doing this catering, spay, and neuter stuff. No, like, give people the options. Like, doing that feels like QB vision. It was something that was like the main thing, and then people got upset about it. A good number of people got upset about it. All right, make it an option. Then it got phased out. That was one of the best features Madden had, in my opinion, and they took it away. So all I'm saying is that Madden, you know, we need to see what can happen with this game without having all these extra hitches via the additions made. Big moves made. Because they made big moves. 2 big moves over these past 2 years. I do have a level of optimism about, okay, now that you made these 2 implementations, take your bumps and bruises with those implementations and now press forward. And let's really see what you guys are going to do with Madden 19. I mean, not Madden 19, excuse me, Madden 20. And let's see Madden 20 be a much cleaner product across the board. Especially, and football needs to take center stage with all that. Look, 2K, and I'll say this real quick and throw it back to you, Sim. 2K with the My League, okay? And not My League, excuse me. The E-League, okay? The NBA 2K League. Them doing what they did on defense this year seeing that stuff that was going on in the 2K League plays a role as to why they're on top of what they did. That's why they made the game as tough as they did. when the game launched, because they're like, yo, we got to make this, we got to balance that the playing field out here. You can't see. Just think of how bad your game looks when you're on stage. You're on the big stage, and you got dudes just using blow by. You're just exploiting blow by animations on you for 80 some odd points. That makes your game look terrible. You know what? Execs and stuff are gonna look at it like they're gonna be like, okay, hey y'all, do what y'all need to do. That gives the people, that gives the dev team that really wants to make that kind of basketball game the ammunition to really make it and really give them, like to build it out the way it needs to be built out. So that way you can have people who want that casual experience, get on the court, play your park and all that stuff. But then the people that really want that sim, really want that authenticity. I mean, listen to what Czar been talking about. Listen to all that stuff Czar been talking about. We put all these series in here, and oh, by the way, this is just a general system right here. I got stuff that I can pump in even more. Oh, shoot. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about right there. And we talk about development consistency and all that stuff. These cats have been doing it the whole time, man. They had some falters here and there, but that's one of the main points that I made about the consistency. I made that point for the longest time because I'm like, when you look at 2K5 and where that game left off at, they took several years of consistent development and built that sucker up. Look what they're doing now with, and I'm like, this is the stuff that we need with Madden. I hate that. I hate that Rex is gone. I hate that he had that they couldn't, continuously go on and build. Because you got dudes that are working on 2K, well, like I said, they're going to be there dang near 15 years, some of these cats. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's crazy. And it's like they're all part of that building process. And I mean, who on the Madden side can come out here and start breaking this stuff down? Based on, and I'm talking about with the game fired up. I'm not talking about like what A-Dub did, even though that's huge. But I'm saying fire up the console and show us. Now this is how it's supposed to work. This is what it's supposed to do. Blase blah whoopty whoop. But see, I feel that none of them can do that necessarily because the game, the way that it's presented right now, they can't go out there with confidence and really talk to it with confidence. No. You see what I'm saying? Like how Czar, he can go through all them series and he can be like, oh, you wanna be, I'm gonna show you how to get your digital ball handling skills up. I'm gonna show you how you properly gotta use your moves, properly gotta use this. Supposed to use this in this situation and supposed to do that. He could say it all with confidence because that's how the system works. You can't say things with confidence with Madden and be like, what if A-Dub was out there breaking it down and then you see some crazy stuff go on like that? Like, that make him look bad. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, this is a guy that's working on this and breaking it down. God bless you. And he's having these kind of troubles. Come on, man. You can't have that happen. So that's what I'm saying. I want Madden to get to that place where they're able to truly do that. And it's like they can't do that right now. They're just not able to. And it sucks. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I seriously hope going forward that they really will be able to do that kind of stuff. Because look, man, NBA 2K and even the next point saying they're interested in sales. Man, listen, NBA 2K sold 10 million copies. They still got the microtransactioning and all that stuff going on in their game rampant. But you know what? These people are quickly lining up and putting their money on the table. But look at all the stuff 2K did with core gameplay, with modes and everything. That My League that's retarded.
Ridiculous.
That's retarded what them cats did. No, man. And that's the whole thing. How is it that NBA 2K went from selling single digit in copy sales and now they selling double digits? So you telling me Madden can't do that? Madden can't get back to doing that? They can do the same freaking thing. But you got to invest in the product, and you got to let the people that are making the game. And I'll say the same thing about the live dev team. You gotta give these people the resources, the budget, and the ability to finesse and build that sucker out. Seriously, you can't be hard capping these guys and then expect greatness to be like that. It's not gonna happen. That's why when you hear me and Sim talk, we're like, man, we ain't talking about the dev team. It's like the corporate or whomever it is. The powers that be are slowing these cats down, man. For real, and it's crazy. It doesn't make sense. Build a game that has the depth, and you'll make more money. 2K is showing you that. Like, I don't understand why. No, let's keep the cap on. For what? Take the cap off and let them build. And they build that sucker, man. You'll be selling units. You'll be getting all kinds of revenue off of Ultimate Team and everything. Come on. Seriously, legitimize the game, man. Don't just rationalize because it's the only game out there. And I mean, that's the NFL's fault on that one. NFL made that decision. I hate they did that. Because ultimately, even if XFL does make a game, guess what? I don't know. Maybe Vince McMahon and them won't give two flying farts, but I already know people would buy if that game was legit. And 2K made that, people gonna be trying their best to make the NFL out that game. They ain't gonna be playing that game trying to play it with an XFL squad.
Right.
They're gonna be doing their best to try and make an NFL game. Seriously, especially if that game is on PC. So that's all I'm just saying. But I'll throw it back to you, Sim.
It's pretty crazy, man, and I'm gonna actually bring in. Let's get Brett up in here, man. I believe he's on. Let me just make sure that he is ready to go. It's just, it's so frustrating, man. It's like you said. You know, I get the whole they want sales and all that. But I can't give them that excuse because all of these other companies want the same as well, and they are out here producing. You know what I mean? So I just can't. I can't give them that. I can't give them that, man. But enough of our frustrations, guys. I'm gonna call Brett Lee again, guys. He's a former developer of EA at EA Sports. Worked on Madden and Fight Night and games like that. So let's go ahead and give him a call. I'm sure you're going to hear the chime as we try to add him here. And let's see what we got. Smitty, you still there, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, I think we got him in.
Seen him there.
Yo, Brett, you in? Yeah, we can hear you now a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. What's going on, man? Welcome back to the show, brother. How's everything?
I appreciate it. Everything's good. I'm in here enjoying your guys' conversation and checking out this good football game. This Rams and Vikings game going back and forth, boy.
Oh, wow. He just scored. Cup just scored again.
Ooh, see? Having those cornerbacks is hurting them. Having them out there hurting. What's going on, fellas?
What's cracking, man?
Nothing much, man.
Hey, Smitty, we little enemies for this weekend, bro.
Hey, I mean, it is what it is, man. You know.
Yeah.
We do decent.
Oh yeah.
It's Cowboys Lions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I can't talk too much about our team right now yet. You know, if we was rolling already, I'd have some things to say. But I can't say nothing. We won one game.
I can't say nothing. All right, I can't say anything until we get some better coaching. There's nothing I can sit there and say about my squad right now. But anyway, fellas, I'm glad that you opened up the show with what you had to say, Sam, because that's basically what the direction that I'm going at. First of all, I totally agree about. I hope that they don't take offense to what we're saying, because it's really constructive criticism, and it's just our passion to, you know, it's our passion for us towards this game, that because we have so much passion on wanting this game to be so well. So, you know, it's kind of sad that they take it the wrong way. Mm-hmm. But you know, we only want this to be better, and you know, one of the reasons why is because, you know, I'm gonna honestly say this. I really believe that this year's version of Madden was a broken game. It was a rushed, broken game from a dysfunctional situation that went down with the two different producers leaving the area. I really do. And it's showing its ugly head, because it's like they bringing out patches, the stuff they're fixing, they break it. For the 5 things they're fixing, 10 things are broken. And it just keeps getting worse. I mean, right now, the blocking, like you said, line play is irrelevant. And the way I tested as far as the blocking right now, ask yourself this: when the last time have they had defensive stunts on any defensive play?
Right.
And the reason why they don't have defensive stunts, because the AI capability of being able to block it is not there. You can manipulate it so much that they, instead of them trying to fix it, they just say, no, we're just not going to have stunts. Because if they have stunts, you'll get sacked every play, because it confuses them. So that tells you right there that the AI for the development to block properly is not there at all. And so it's 2018. This game is 30 years old, and they had stunts in the old Sega Genesis days. So now here it is. It's PS4, and you're taking it out instead of, you know, it's too many things, ways of that they fix plays. And I've said this before. When they took out slant outs and put the Z route in, instead of just fixing the option to stop it.
Fix the AI.
It fixed the AI. It just fixed the AI. The sideline play. I did a drag route. My guy just ran like into the bleachers. It's still happening. It's like, come on, where are you throwing? Like, really, where are you throwing the ball? What can you do with that? It doesn't make sense, you know. And you know, recovering fumbles this year. That's a joke right now. It's like they gotta stop, bend down, pick up the ball, then I think I got it. By then the ball's kicked all the way like 20 yards. It reminds me of that Oakland Raiders and San Diego Charger game that changed their rule about you kicking the ball forward. That's what's going on with fumbles now. You know, and it's like they're taking a step backwards so much. But what really just gets me worried and gets me upset and frustrating, I got the 2K. And I got it last week. I've been kind of busy. I haven't been able to get into it when it came out, but I finally got it, and I played it. And just the franchise mode alone, it's embarrassing where Madden franchise mode is right now. To compare to that, what they give you, you might not even have to like basketball, but the options that they give you to play that game is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it gives the user what they want at any time, any given moment. And I know, you know, they're going to say, well, you're dealing with 22 people on the field. I get that. That's the gameplay. But putting in how to build life into the game, there's no excuse for it, man. It's just no excuse for they have the same type of style as far as microtransactions and, you know, the MUT options and all that, but they still give us a phenomenal franchise, and we're just not getting it no more. And you know, hopefully, you know, the powers that may be will take a look and don't take it as a diss towards them or anything, but just take it as we're just passionate on wanting to get this game done correctly. So, you know, I'm you know, it's no other football game for us to play, so I'm going to continue to play it. But like my father used to tell me, you know, if I stop talking about you, you got a problem. So if I was to stop complaining, that means that I'm done with this game, man. But I'm not going to stop, because I want the best for it. I want the best for me and my friends to keep playing football, and I just hope one day they can come through what we want.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because like you said, It's essentially the only football game. I mean, it's better than the indie games, that are trying to compete. I don't have a Gen 3 console anymore, so I can't even play the All-Pro footballs or the older Maddens. So this is all I got. Yeah. And it just really sucks, man, because like you said, I like basketball a lot. I'm a huge Sixers fan, and I know the general things, but I'm not a basketball wizard like that know all of those different motions and slice and flow and series. I don't know all of that. I start understanding it because I learned it in the game, but I don't recognize stuff like that watching basketball because I don't play or I don't know basketball to that degree. So it sucks that I have to rely on other sports titles to get my immersion. I became a baseball fan playing MLB The Show. And I actually feel like now I'm going to end up being a soccer fan. I got FIFA on PC. I actually haven't played it yet. I'll probably get to it tomorrow night. But you see what I'm saying? It's a shame that I can't enjoy my sport.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. It's frustrating, because like you said, I know people that I don't know if you ever played some of the games, the simulated games where it's not no actual gameplay, but just like I think it's called Pro Football Talk or something like that on the PC, where it's just a matter you develop your gameplay or the way that you develop your game plan for the week, and then it just simulates what you do. And I've seen guys have more fun playing that than playing this because of the realistic aspects of it. And they have the blueprint if they brought back what's the game with Tony Dungy that they came out with.
Head coach.
Head coach.
Yeah, head coach.
All you got to do is add that. If you added that, the game would be.
It's over.
That's all you need. It's over.
Yeah.
It's completely over.
Yeah, it's sad, man.
Hey, coach, we're only asking that. That's just for preparing for the gameplay. That's not even preparing for like GM, other things you got to do for franchise mode. That's just getting ready for the week in the coaching standpoint. But they still make it better because I'm gonna be honest. This year's franchise mode, it wasn't really nothing new. They brought in you can create your draft rosters and the little makeup about having your coach in the background, which is kind of silly to me because I don't know if you guys noticed, but they got the coach if he's still on the field with his challenge hanky in the back of his pocket. Like, why is he gonna have that type of animation in his office? It's like, come on, man, give it some real makeup, give it some real life if you're gonna do that. Don't sit there and just, I'm gonna have just put the coach back there, and that's not who cares about that? It's so many improvements they need to do on drafting. Last week, Smitty, you was talking about practice mode, and I've been saying that for the longest. That needs to be implemented. Like I'm playing the NBA 2K, they have an option on how much practice mode can implement on how a player is getting developed throughout his career. See, that's what I'm saying. That's giving you a way to have fun in franchise mode, and they just so catered to the masses and the dollar, and it's frustrating because you can still get that if you just did what we're asking. You won't lose no money. You'll gain more, if anything.
Yeah. I don't see 2K complaining about financial loss by adding more to their game. So,
no, not at all.
Yeah.
You don't see that, and it's just sad that we just can't have them, realize that just look at. I think the good thing that might have come out of this with 2K doing well is maybe they might pay attention to that. Maybe they might see like, wow, you know what, the franchise mode is deep, and they're doing the same thing, and they sold a lot of units. Got to step our game up. Got to step our game up. And Smitty, Sam, I think you sent out a link about there was a forum that they had, and they was asking questions about franchise, like what we would like to see, and there was 5 different ideas that you would like to see. Did you send that on Twitter about a week ago?
Oh, you're talking about 4 Verts.
Yeah, that was from 4 Verts from Sonny. Yep.
Yeah. But it's hopefully they can pay attention to that. I passed that along with a couple of my friends, and they fill it out as well. And maybe hopefully one day they'll look at that and make a decision on what they can possibly do. But we can only wish and hope and keep talking about it like we're doing right now, and hopefully they can make a change with it. But hey, Sim, don't stop, man. Whatever you do, if they get upset, so be it. Don't change, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I ain't gonna change. But I'm telling you, I have a feeling. I see it coming. One of these days, they're gonna be like, "Well, it's not in the best interest." Yeah, okay. Well, I'll holler at y'all later then.
Yeah. Yep.
It's better for me to be on the team, cause I feel like this. I keep it respectful now.
Yeah.
It could easily go the other way, but we'll see.
Looking at some of these comments, that's definitely true.
We shall see. So, what do you think, man? I want to ask you this really quick. Is there truth to what I said earlier? Because I really don't know from a development standpoint, but I feel like for as much new tech and stuff that's put in the game, I feel like the old code in the game can easily negate those changes, and that's what we're starting to see come out from time to time. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, yes, it is. Yeah, because you still see old bugs pop up that they just refuse to even, and there was fixes for those old bugs back in the day, but every year and I'm leading to Creative Playbook, by the way, because every year there's something wrong with the Creative Playbook every single year. And I don't know how far you guys remember when Creative Playbook first came out. They did it that one year, and then they took it out, and then they brought it back when it came to, I think, the year before it came to PS4. They brought it back on the PS3. And the reason why they took it out the first time, because it had so many bugs, it just didn't have time to fix it. But then when they came up with a better system, they felt that they would be able to manage it, but they still don't fix it. And that's because, just all you have to do, like you said, is use old coding to go back and look at what's causing the bugs and just fix it. It's not, I don't see how hard it is to, like, I've been developing a Class A bug with Creative Playbook, where some of my plays are going in a Hail Mary instead of going where it's supposed to be. I'm thinking, like, I know I put these plays in there, and I just so happen to go on a Hail Mary. Oh, here's my 4 steps that I put in the playbook. It's like, come on, man, that shouldn't be happening. And matter of fact, it's our shotgun called Shot Split Slot. I have it in my shotgun, but I also have it in my Hail Mary. And then the different type of, with the sets with the right stick, how you can put different running backs or receivers. They give you different ones. I got it now where I can put a receiver in a running back slot.
Wow.
So it's just broken. It's just so broken. And what frustrated me about it though is when I went to EA Play last year, not this year, last year, and I talked to one of the producers. I said, "How about the Creative Playbook? Are you guys gonna fix it?" And he was so nonchalant, like, "Oh, you know what? That's always gonna be broken. We'll put a patch out, but." That's just Creative Playbook is just stay broken. Like, they don't care. Like they do the bare minimum, but that's not a big issue. That's just what it is. So that's just frustrating, man. That's just really frustrating.
It's sad, man. I don't even know what else to say. It's too much other. It's too many other games out here that are satisfying the needs that we would love to have in Madden. Yeah. Again, I really feel like, and I don't know, I guess it's a management thing, because at least with speaking with the developers, I know what they want to do, and I know there are guys on the team that are talented. Me and Smitty have seen that. Football knowledge is not even a question with a lot of these guys there. But also talent. Smitty remembers when You know, Vic Lugo was there. You know, nobody can say that that guy was not a talented developer, which he was. Mm-hmm. But I really feel like, man, that EA Canada, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's management. But EA Canada seems to kill EA Tiburon.
They do.
It's night and day.
They do.
Yeah. And why is that?
They pay attention to detail. That's the first thing. Because remember, you know, they always started with hockey, and hockey was always detailed. Their stuff was always on point. Everything's always in order. The same thing with Fight Night. Everything is always in order. And they don't, and it wasn't no big rift amongst each other. I hate to say this, but down there in Tiburon, they're cocky. And they feel like they know that they're going to have a good following. So, hey, you know, it's like, look, you guys can be mad all you want. You're going to still buy it. You know, and it's sad that they're like that. And I don't mean to call them out, but that's just what I feel and what I see. When you look at NHL, look at FIFA, look how precise and you don't get these same type of issues with their game. I mean, FIFA got just as many players on the field, and it's a bigger field with less issues. Yeah. So how can they have their stuff on point and Madden not? Why do they fight amongst themselves instead of being together? You guys all on the same umbrella. All of you guys have the same two letters as far as your production squad, which is EA. But you guys fight amongst yourselves. You try to outdo each other instead of just, hey, can we work with each other to make this game better? Now, I'm hoping that I'm wrong. Maybe they're doing that, but maybe they're limited. But with the experience I had being up there, I remember it. It's like night and day.
It is crazy. It is real sad. Never mind. I was going to address a comment I saw in the chat, but I'm not even going to do it, man. It's just clear. It's clear to me sometimes people just don't listen, or maybe came in the tail end of the story, but I will address it really quick. And Maximus Win 81, I didn't see the Skype name, man. If you can send it again, we'll be happy to bring you on. But basically, the comment was centered around us being game changers, and you know, Storm B28 says, you know, is it enough for you to stop being game changers and supporting the game and blah 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 blah. Now, I'm not poo-pooing on your comment. My question to you, man, and anybody who feels that way is, first of all, I would love to know, how do Smitty and I support the game? I really want to know what you mean by that. Smitty and I have not paid for this game in eons, number one. Number two, what we're doing tonight is clearly not in support of the game. Number three, we all should be in support of a game getting better. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's what a game changer is supposed to do. Also, what I said earlier in the show is, I don't know if that relationship will remain the same going forward. We'll see. Because of the way we are fed up with Madden. So my question is, I don't understand why some of you guys always resort to that. I don't know if this is the case, but it comes off like envy or some type of jealousy or something. Because I don't see how that makes a difference. I don't get it. And again, I'm not saying that we're in this privileged, you know, position. It's really not a big deal. We're really just closer to the devs than the average person. That's all it is. But I don't understand why you guys run to that. You guys who feel that way, it makes no sense to me, where each and every week we probably say something negative about Madden. So I would really love to know, how does Smitty and I support the game? Which in theory, most of the people that complain about the game are the ones who buy it every week. I mean, every year. So I don't know.
Okay, think about, this is simply putting it like this. Like what my man Brett said. if I ain't talking about the game anymore, just think about it. If you purchase Madden and don't say a single word about it because you fed up about it, that would signal to me that you don't give a care about it.
Exactly.
But when I see people go online, whether they're joking about it or it's stuff that they just get mad about and they post it online, they post it because they give a care. They post it because they give a care. They want it to be seen. They want that stuff to be fixed, right? So you let it be known. Hey, yo, I got to work on this, that, and the third. This is problematic. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, myself, Sim, and AZ weren't brought in because we cheerlead and pom pom for the game. We were brought in because we felt a certain way. We felt the game was not moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of development wise, it wasn't moving the way that it should have been moving. Now, is the game moving? Is the game still striding? Yes, it is. There's no question about that. People get caught up in the negativity so quick, they forget about everything else that's been said. They miss all that. They're like, so why be part of something positive if you're gonna be saying something negative? Well, don't you have to be confident enough to be able to say the negative in order to turn it into a positive? I mean, that just makes sense to me. If somebody gives me constructive criticism on something, what am I just gonna do? I'm gonna flip them the bird or something like that? No, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, cool. Thanks for your criticism. I appreciate that. I take their feedback and then I go ahead and let me make this negative into a positive. Let me do what I can do to refine what I need to do so I can get to where I need to go. That's basically what we're saying about Madden. And in the midst of that, we talk about the frustrations and everything else because this is a process. A lot of people in this world act like because these companies make money, just throw money at it and call it a day.
Wow.
It doesn't matter how much money a company makes. You can't just throw money at it and call it a day. The main people that say that are people that ain't even held nearly that much money to be able to say, take that money, throw it at it, and call it a day. So it just isn't going to work like that. You know what I'm saying? There's aspects that there are things that the devs want to do, and then there's executive decisions that happen about them. That's and understand this too. This is with every single company out here in the world. So this is not some exclusive only happens with Electronic Arts kind of deal. It's just that it's publicized. So that's why it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that EA did this. Like, well, yeah, because it's pertaining to a game that you care about. If you see a car, that's like saying, if you see a hot car riding down the street and you got the means to an end to go ahead and afford said car, you go ahead and get that car. What if you knew that they had all kind of shady business practices and everything else, but you're happy with the car you bought, right? You ain't gonna be worried about that business. You just like, hey, you know what? It sucks that they got all that going on, but I'm enjoying this whip though. That's how it's traditionally treated. You see what I'm saying? We're just saying that we want a few elements of this game done better, and they do those things. We're good. That's it. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying, let EA play. I won't even say let EA play. EA play is just a testing ground. But EA play somewhat, but let EA play or let the final game come out for next year's game and it's on point for the most part, and there's a few hitches here and there. We'll talk about those hitches, but at the same time, a lot of the talk like we're doing right now, it wouldn't be any, like we would be okay with it. You see what I'm saying? So, and plus, like what was just said there by Jay Hart there, you have to have people on the inside that are rocking for this community, that are going to represent on that behalf and go in there and speak it. It's the same thing, what Jay Hart just said. I don't know how many times, we've all said it, but I know Sim said it a lot. They're glad, like, yeah, when we first got in there, yeah, we in there. All those years beforehand, man, EA ain't listening to us, man. They ain't never gonna do what we want to happen in the game, man. They ain't gonna da-da-da. And they are. They're doing the stuff that we've been talking about. And it's not exclusively like me and Sim and AZ or whatever, but it's like we're taking the message that many people have said and we're putting emphasis on it like, yo, there's people like this stuff does need to be addressed. We need to have this kind of control. We need to have that. And like I said earlier, when you see the stuff filtering over to what Zan is saying, tournament guys talking about legit football, and I mean, he's going in, that's what, you know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff that filters more, and that goes with what Rex even said. He's trying to, you know, they're starting to see that they need that the more they hear what's going on out there on, you know, online, and more of what, you know, that crowd is seeping more and more in to the bigger, higher people up, that's going to help with the game getting more refined to an extent, because now they're hearing it. Oh, okay, they care about this. Oh, okay, they care about that too. Okay. And plus, EA want to get that money. They want to get that money, refine the game. That's how you really get that money. Like Brett said, like I said, Sim said, like many of us have said. So,
yeah.
Here's the funny thing. Storm B, I'm just going to ask you one simple question, and I want you to ponder on it. I have no idea whether you are self-employed or you have a job, whatever. But let's just say you work like most people do, and, you know, a good amount of people are self-employed or have, you know, whatever. Let's just say a job. If it's not yours, you know somebody who works. How much say do they have in the way the company is ran? If tomorrow, when they go into work, and if it's you, if you go to work tomorrow, how much can you control as far as the way the company is ran? I only ask you that question because I found it incredibly disappointing when some of the comments that come at us is like, he says, oh, sounds like y'all don't have a voice anymore. Okay. How many of y'all really believe that Smitty, Sim, Azure, Shopmaster, Zan, Drifter Bub, Sean Mason, Mark Rollins, a lot of people, mad scientists, etc., etc., etc. How many of y'all really thought that we could change the way the business is ran? How many of y'all really thought that we could change the culture of the way the suits run their business? I hope y'all didn't really think that's what we were there for. We were there as a, like they say, and I've worked in environments, you know, in customer service environments. I've been in those buildings, even though that wasn't my job. But you hear a lot of times in any customer service area, they say voice of the customer. Essentially, that's what a game changer is. Voice of the customer. What are your biggest frustrations? What is the community saying? What are the things y'all want the most? We give them what we want. We stay on their neck. We wait to see what they produce. That's how it works. Just like a job. Just like people that go on strike.
Yep.
That's how it works. And, you know, being a game changer, we were brought to do that. Again, let's rewind back to the earlier in the show. This is the reason why I said, you never know. It could get to a point where our services are not so much, they're not as appealing anymore. Because maybe the culture changes. We don't know yet. I'm just saying I see that possibly being in the future. Especially, again, not trying to, you know, get him in any kind of trouble or anything, but especially when you see guys like Zan now being like, nah, man. You never know. It could be a new day at EA. You know, and I see it. I can see it happening, but I don't know if it will. But you never know. It might get to a point where all of a sudden Slim and Smitty ain't in the fold as much. Because that's not the way they want to do business. We said that. We openly said that here in the show. So to me, again, it cracks me up sometimes when some of you guys come at that angle.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We can't control. I've had devs tell me, man, keep fighting, guys, because we can't even get this done. We need as many voices as possible. Devs have told me that. So for you guys who think the buck stops with the game changers, God bless you, man, for really thinking that. I mean, listen, I'm not trying to talk about anybody, but come on, man. We should know better than that. We should know better than that. And it is what it is. You know, I appreciate you rocking with the channel and all that. I'm just saying, man, you know, again, I'm a guy that speaks his mind. We can't be thinking like that. Y'all can't be thinking that game changers are the end all be all. And, you know, to say, well, why do you guys still do it? Why not? Why not? Right. However,
exactly. Why wouldn't you not want to fight for something that you do like? I mean, just because you might have, like I said in the beginning, it's constructive criticism. It's not like we saying, I hate this game. I hate this game. It's the worst. I'm going out my way to hate the game. No. Even if this game came out good, we're going to still have some things that they need to polish. I mean, as much as I'm saying about 2K, there's still some things they need to work on.
Yes, Lord.
But,
yes,
you know,
Lord.
so it's what you call constructive criticism, you know, and when you see these type of comments, I wonder, where's your insecurity? Do you have an insecurity issue? Because, you know, a person that's insecure don't understand that. They don't understand what criticisms are, constructive criticism are. I'm not an insecure individual. If I got a booger in my nose, I need y'all to tell me that. You know, like, whatever it is, let me know. I'm not gonna get insulted with. I'm like, good looking. You know, don't let me walking around looking embarrassed like that. And it's the same thing with this game. You know, I got 30 years invested in there. I hate to brag about it, but or boast about it, but hey, you damn right, I'm gonna have something to say if I see something that, hey, I've been dealing with this game, the ups and downs with it, and I think that things can be better. You know, so it you know, why not care for something? Why not talk about something, try to make something better for something that you care about? It's the only right thing to do. That's how I look at it.
Smitty and Brett, let me ask y'all a quick question too, man. And it throws me off sometimes on YouTube, but I realize not everybody is not crazy like me, and the name is the same for everything. So shout outs to Mr. Action Jackson. He sent us a topic here on Twitter. His name is much different on Twitter, but I will definitely ask this question to both of you guys, man, and either one of you can go first. He says, in regards to the video I put up last night about the CPU awareness and things like that, he says, do you think that Madden 20 will be the breaking point for the community to support Madden if certain gameplay things aren't fixed? Like, will Madden 20 be the last straw for a good amount of people in the community?
No, it won't be. These questions are always asked, and you know what, Sim, how many times have we heard people say, "Oh, Madden 10 is the last straw. If it ain't it, I ain't never messing with it again." And they still buy they got Madden 19. So that's not ever going to be the money, you know, statement or whatever to say. But I mean, will there be people that'll get more upset and more vocal? There will be some. But ultimately, see, this is the problem. When there's only one game, and when there's only one game, and there's very little conviction, this game is mainly bought in North America. And I mean, this is just keeping it a buck. These games that are outside of the U.S., pretty much, or if it has, or the crowd is very, very diehard. Otherwise, they're not really going to care like that. They will talk like they give a care, but they're going to be... What we mainly do here is we talk as we're giving the money. We talk as we're getting... Man, this last Madden, like, I mean, literally pulling the wallet out, clicking on Amazon, ordering, or whatever. As you're complaining, you're giving them the money. Man, this is the last time I'm going to give you my 65. Man, this is the last time I'm going to do this. Man, this is the last pack of mud I'm going to purchase. Okay. And then they go ahead, put that money down. Yeah, people complaining about their My Player. Look, I just bought the $100 edition of NBA 2K, and then I put another $100 in there to buy more VC, And this is what happened. They're complaining about not being able to make the extra transaction. You see what I'm saying? That is very prevalent here. So when we're talking about Madden, unless these guys pull a Madden 06 first going over the next gen kind of deal, no, they're fine. They will. And I mean, I honestly feel like we talked about when this game first came out. Them adding the RPM tech and this being year 2 on Frostbite, all of this stuff is going to be helpful in the long run. So I don't see RPM just all of a sudden it's just going to be a, you know, the end all to the game. Like, excuse me, it's going to help, but we just need to, like, there needs to be a lot more done. There has to be a lot more meat on the bone, because what's crazy is that all the other titles outside of Live and Madden are the only 2 titles that feel barren in terms of them getting that year-over-year update in comparison to FIFA and NHL that are under their umbrella as well. And then, I mean, you go outside of that, you look at NBA 2K, you look at MLB, you look at PES, and what those games give, and it's like, oh man. Like FIFA didn't even touch their franchise mode, and they openly admitted it. It was just like, we look at the resources, we look at the data, it's just not worthwhile to invest in it at this point in time. Which, that to me is crazy, because if I was a soccer diehard like that, I would be pissed. I mean, there's people that are pissed off about that when it comes to FIFA.
And NHL.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah, like there hasn't been real innovation with those modes. And then you look at what MLB The Show does. You look at what NBA 2K does, and it's like, yo, what's going on? Come on, y'all gotta pour in. You gotta pour in across the whole board. Not just we did some strategy updates, some gameplay updates, or whatever it is, but the modes that, and I mean, you gotta give meat and potato depth to every mode in the game. Every mode. Expand on them and build it out. You don't have that with Madden. And I mean, they go to EA Canada or whatever, but I feel that there needs to be some kind of collab. Cause what's going on up there with what those guys do with the game? I mean, look at that freaking NHL. See, that would make me play that alone off of that and put Madden down because of what that is giving me. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, I mean, I shouldn't feel that way when y'all are under the exact same umbrella together. You know what I mean? So there needs to be some kind of crossing up and everything. Like I said, they made the move to Frostbite. That's cool. They could pull tech and stuff like that. That's awesome. But I need to see these guys truly build that out. So you go ahead, Britt. You gonna say something?
Yeah, I agree with you too. One of the things too, one of the reasons why I don't think that next year that'd be to make it all or break all is because it's still rumors about the next generation system coming out, and with that, I know how I don't know how much of you guys follow the transition phase between new systems, old Madden from the older system to the new system, but if you look at how when it went from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2, it was phenomenal. But when it went from PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3, it took a step back. But then when it went to PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4, it did pretty good, but not as it was kind of gradually getting better. And so all the things that we are asking for, sometimes I wonder, are they waiting for that to happen? But if they're doing that, then they need to give us something to look forward to, because if you keep coming out with a game like they did this year, you can lose some fans and lose some hope on it. But one thing I've always seen with Madden, for all the fans that they've lost, they gain them back because they see it. They're like, oh, I didn't know the game. All the games like that now, like, oh, I might have to play it. Then some people get back on there. They go, oh, it's still doing this, but it's a little bit better. Blah blah blah. I've seen it time and time again. for all the people, the same ones, the people that's on here criticizing it, and 2 years later they right back at it. Why are you criticizing? Because it's obvious that you're playing it again, you know, and you're the sucker because you went out there and paid us $64 for it. So, you know, it's. Yeah, I don't see it going down. I just don't see it going down. Whether another company comes up with it or not, but I just don't see it. I don't see it not doing it.
Yeah, I don't know if 20 could do that, man. I don't know if, because like you said, that's the thing. It's always newcomers. 20 could be very telling for me though. And I know I even said that about 19. But I guess what I'm saying, just on a personal note, my viewership, man, and the people who follow me, y'all make it very hard for me not to play Madden. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I almost feel like I'm gonna have to restart. Like, I'm gonna have to build followers off of something else. Like, I really want to play more of these games. But for anybody who does YouTube on a consistent basis that's trying to grow, you would understand this. Sometimes you have to do what brings the most attention and get established before you can branch out. And it sucks. It really sucks because I would love to just do my league. Straight up my league. But for whatever reason, I get no support from those videos. And trust me, man, when you, and again, I'm always open and honest with you guys. It ain't about, I will say it is and it isn't about the money. And what I mean by that is, obviously, I do YouTube because I love it. I do YouTube because I enjoy commentating and I like playing games that I like to play, etc., etc. But of course, there's monetary gain in YouTube. So obviously, the time that people put in, like, you guys have no idea. Like, I know a lot of guys who are full-time, and y'all have no idea the type of time they put in. You don't want to put your time and effort into something that is not going to reward you.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the
as the older you get too.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been wanting to play my career. I've been wanting to play the one, but man, my first my career video till date has like 150 something views, bruh. I can't do that. I just can't do it. But it's making it extremely difficult, man, because YouTube also, the algorithm, man, is like, I'm pretty sure I'm boxed in. Like, I'm recognized as a Madden YouTuber. So, you know, the chain of command is just not going to be as high when you do other videos. But I really think I might just have to rebrand, man, because football can't be the primary thing for me no more. I'm not getting fulfilled. Woo! Wow. Stephon Diggs just got his helmet knocked off. Yikes. That was a big hit. But yeah, it's tough, man, because I'm thoroughly enjoying my league. I'm 8 games in now. I've learned how to play a little bit, so I'm actually 6-3. And I am thoroughly enjoying it. Like, the game is so deep, I'm afraid to play my GM. I think it's too much for me to handle.
Oh, you haven't played it yet?
Not my GM. I played my league.
Oh my God. Well, okay, the only thing I don't like about my GM is the single player, I believe, because I don't really have that many people to play that game with. But Sim, that's really shines.
I know.
Because you got demands you got to make, and it's not so easy to make those demands. And I mean, it's just like Rob Jones. Yeah. You know, he knows how to push that limit, man. It's just a phenomenal game, man.
Yeah.
I got a question to ask you guys. How is your guys running in Madden?
The run game, just in the capability to do it.
Yeah.
It's not too bad where I have it at. I think I have my blocking right now on 55 and on all Madden it's not too bad, but to me, the problem with it is still, I don't always see the struggle, man. I see too much of, they're blocking everything, and the holes are just extremely wide open, or this an insta shed.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Man.
Same for you. Okay.
Mainly instant sheds though.
Yeah, that's me. Well, I've been tinkering with the running threshold, and it's like a night and day game right now. I've moved it up like a lot, and the running game, it's not where it's overpowering where you just so successful in your running game, but it's balanced. Like, you know, when you see the hole, you go through that hole. There's too many times where when it's at the norm, where you see the hole, but you still the shed is just killing you every time. Now, if you hit that hole like you're supposed to, he gets through it. And I'm having a field day since I changed the threshold. So if you get a chance, try it out and see, and tell me what you think, and you'll see the difference. You definitely, especially in the running game, you see the difference.
So you turning up the run blocking, or are you talking about the speed threshold?
The speed threshold. That's all I did. I didn't change the blocking at all. Just did the speed threshold. And
what did you turn it up to?
I got it. First, I started off to like 70, and now I got it up to 80. And I think I'm gonna bring it back down to 75. And it's like the game is just like I'm having fun again. That's the best way to put it. I'm having fun running the ball, because it's just like you can't, I'm practicing right now, and I can't even get to the line of scrimmage because I'm testing out what I did. I brought the threshold down to 10, and it's like, oh my God, it's horrible. Like I can't even get, like I could get the line of scrimmage. So I know that threshold is making the running game a lot better.
That's weird though, because
yeah, it is.
It sounds like, and this has been a theory for years, it sounds like that might be another slider that's backwards.
Yeah.
Because turning it up should make, in theory, you would think the insta sheds would be worse, because they would be able to like get to you really quick, because the speed difference isn't the same. And you would think if it was lowered the way that the definition is in the game, that they couldn't get to you as fast when you go through the hole, because a faster running back would be faster than like a D tackle.
Right.
Maybe it's backwards.
Yeah. Well, the wind's been broken for years. So it's nothing new. This is nothing new at all. And so if that's the case, that wouldn't surprise me. I'm still getting wind in dome stadiums where it's like, how? Why am I getting a 12-mile-per-hour wind in a dome? It makes no sense at all. It is what it is. Like I said, every time they fix something, they break something. I got to tell my friends in my league that I'm in that we're gonna, for the new season, we got to change that threshold, because it's again, you can still be stopped. It's not where it's overbearing and it doesn't dominate totally, but the running game is, to me, like, now I can do counters, because counters right now is pretty much irrelevant. You're getting tackled from behind, or you just can't. It just doesn't, do the blocking that you need on the outside now. And now with that threshold, even the counters are working better.
Yeah, man, it's just so many fundamental things. Like, it's a shame, because as much work as A-Dub has done with the coverage, and it's so much more, man, that I talked to him about that he still wants to do, that hasn't made its way there yet. The AI system, to me, is still the problem, because you see at times where they will recognize and they will match the coverage, and they will play these coverages exactly like they should. Like, again, like Smitty said, Kia has put out great videos showing it, but Kia also states the inconsistencies of it. And to me, I think that's that underlying code base that just kicks in at times and like, nope.
Yeah, man.
This is how we're going to play it. You have no choice. And again, it's not like, guys, it's not like we are. Again, this is just our opinion. I don't think that Madden 19 as a product is complete trash. I just don't think that. But
No.
It's very frustrating when you have games like the one I posted. For you guys that didn't see it, if you want to check it out, I'll put the link here in the thing again. But that's 2 consecutive videos that I've posted playing an opponent, and when you have those moments happen, it just kills whatever joy you can get from the game. Is you're like, you can't rely on the defense. And again, like Smitty said, we're not expecting guys to make every play. That is not what we're trying to get them to do. But when you call a coverage, or you feel like you got the right matchup, you got the right guys in coverage, you're running this cover 3 or whatever, you're expecting this guy to play this guy to play that, the middle read guy to do this, all of that stuff, and they just don't do it, or the AI is just so dumbfounded where the guys are still just standing there and they're not moving and not looking for work. It's an immersion killer, man.
Yeah.
It's just, it's bad. Like in the league, we have a very competitive league. I ain't won a game in that league yet.
Oh, dog.
I'm gonna tell you. And listen, I keep it real with y'all, right? For this season, I'm talking about, not before.
Yeah.
I am currently 2 games I had to sim because I couldn't play them, but I am currently 0-7.
Oh,
and I could show you guys. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all the real. I could show you the games and y'all would be like, "Why every one of them something stupid happened?" I haven't gotten blown out. Most of the games I've lost 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, and it's always a crazy moment like that. And I remember telling Azure, I figured out, man, I'm gonna have to learn how to play Madden and not football. I can't rely on football in this game. I have to literally play Madden, and I don't know how to play Madden. And it's not even a detriment to the guys in the league. You have to play the game that they give you. But I have not figured out how to master Madden. Like, Smitty knows what I'm talking about. Guys know exactly when this is gonna pop open, and they know that there's nothing that I can do about it. The safety is not gonna react to it. So I either have to play as a safety, which I'm not a good user when I use it as safety. I'm pretty solid at linebacker, but I'm not good with the free safety. I shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest frustration. And it ain't about the losing. It's going to turn around. I know even by the time we get to season 2, I'm going to start winning games, but I just haven't figured it out yet because, honestly, I've probably only played Madden head-to-head, counting, let's see, the 5 user games I played in the league, and I played 2 online head-to-head games. That's it.
There's just not enough play time.
Yeah, I didn't lab at all, and I did that on purpose. I just said I'm gonna just go out there and play because to me, I want to win, but it ain't all about that. We have fun in our league, and it's. Yeah. But I haven't learned how to play Madden, and I'm seeing that football concepts ain't gonna work. Sometimes they will, but I like to put my guys in position and maybe play on the line to increase the pressure, or play as a linebacker so I can check everything underneath, jump drags, etc., etc. But my back end ain't doing nothing, man. And I'm telling you, I showed y'all 2 videos. There was 2 separate games where against an opponent, and we all can look at those videos and be like, "Oh wow, you got screwed over on that one." That's how I'm losing all of these games, just like that.
Oh man,
it's crazy.
See.
It's crazy, man.
That's why I couldn't play in the league, because the way the game was playing, it wasn't like the users or anything like that. It was because of how the game keeps on robbing, and I'm like, yo, this is getting on my last thing on nerves.
Yeah, it's bad.
So I couldn't keep doing that. Like, I would truly be like, I would just, it's kind of like how I feel about NBA Live right now. It's like it's work. You know what I'm saying? To want to play because of the problems. It makes it more of a task than just, bet, I got this league game. Let's go ahead and get it in real quick. Like, nah. Shouldn't feel that way.
Yeah.
Yep, but I did make this bum quit though. I got that video coming soon in the head-to-head. My very first head-to-head game in the lobby. My man quit. I'm gonna post that footage because I'm telling you, I can play the game, but I just
no business for us. But I hate quitters, man.
Oh man,
quitters.
Just take it, man.
In a franchise mode game. Oh man.
Yeah, it sucks. It really sucks.
Speaking of that, one of my biggest things that I put on that link that you send out is they gotta fix cats that are getting mad at the league and drop all their players. And I think the way that they need to fix that is any transactions need to get a commissioner's approval, because that would stop for multiple reasons, but mainly for that reason. It's just too many bums out there that just want to be a jerk and just say, you know what, man, the heck with this league. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop all my players, and it just messes up the whole league. You know, we don't have time for that, man. It's just like take your whooping like you're supposed to, and learn from it and just become better. You ain't got to be bitter like that.
We've been saying that for years, man. More commissioner tools, and we still have yet to get them. Just don't understand it, man. But man, what a great talk, man. Time flies when you're having fun, guys. It's already 10:02, so we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. But of course, we're gonna let both Brett and Smitty sound off before we close out the show. Brett, any last words you got, man, before we close out?
I just appreciate the opportunity, you guys, and for everybody, let's not look at this as a negative podcast. Let's look at this, like I said, a constructive criticism, and why not strive for better? We should never be settled for mediocrity or just be complacent on anything that you do. So, keep it coming with ideas. Keep coming be respectful with the ideas you want to come up with. And, we just got to try to make the best out of it. One day, hopefully they'll see our point of view and make things work. And, we just hope the best, man.
Yeah.
What you got, Smitty?
And pretty much, going off of that, echoing that point, like I said, at the end of the day, it's just about us giving that constructive feedback, man. And, yes, we vent, we show frustrations and things like that, but it's not coming from a place of hate. It's just there are things we're disappointed by or things that we expect better of. So, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. But we're here doing this, though, because we genuinely want to see a better product that we can all thoroughly enjoy throughout the entire year, instead of it being, like a small period or whatever. But, outside of that, though, of course, like always, we appreciate all of you guys coming through, hanging out with us, chatting with us, and everything else. And, catch us, with videos, streams, all that good stuff. So,
that's it, man. They said it all. We're not hating on the game. We should be fed up. I don't think nobody that's serious about Madden and the football side of Madden should be happy about it. That's what we're supposed to be doing as community members, and you guys appointed us as leaders. That's what we're supposed to be doing for ourselves, for the community, and especially as game changers. We ain't supposed to just be sitting in there, oh, game's great, guys, give me another one. No. But, again, it's risk involved with that. But this is how we are. Like, I remember telling my wife this earlier today. I was like, man, because I have the type of relationship, we talk about everything. And I was like, yo, I see something brewing. I don't know. It's kind of like a hurricane. It's forming, but then sometimes it just goes the other way and it never hits you. That's kind of how I foresee what could happen down the road, because I'm just paying attention, guys. I'm just paying attention to what's going on, some of the conversation I'm hearing. I wouldn't be surprised. And if that day ever comes, hey, it is what it is. Your loss, not mine. But that's just how I look at it. We're gonna be who we are. We're not gonna change. And if feelings are hurt, or higher ups are sensitive about it, whatever. If you feel like, that you no longer require the services, hey, I'm good. I'm good. But just wanted to put that out there, guys, because, just remember this day. If that day comes a year, 2 from now, remember, oh, man, he said that a couple years ago. He was right. Might not happen, but just let's keep an eye on it. It could. But anyway, man, I got to get out of here, man. Got an extremely long day tomorrow, man. Not only do I have to commute, but when I get home from the commute, I have to help my mother and father-in-law move. So I got a long day, man. So I got to... Oh, God, yeah. They're not even closing until 5 p.m. I'm like, what?
Goodness.
So, yeah.
Feel free, bro.
Yeah, man.
I got to be at work at 4 in the morning, so I already know.
Yep.
I already know.
But all right, guys, we had a great time tonight, man. Good luck to your football teams, Lions and Cowboys. Good luck.
Appreciate it, man.
And good luck to everybody else, unless you are a Baltimore Raven fan. If you are, you already know what time it is. Don't come talking to me. But y'all probably will win. Y'all will probably win, man.
Dog. I got you guys.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You got Joe Flacco quarterback. Anytime that happens, you always got a chance.
Always got a chance. You're right, but I just do not trust that secondary. I don't trust them.
No. Yeah, that's the issue.
That's why, and I'll say this, we'll go. It's funny that I make these videos showing still a secondary players not making plays. I'm complaining. That's actually kind of realistic because they ain't doing jack out there. But y'all get the point. But all right, man, y'all be safe. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of tonight and watch some football. And we'll see you guys next Thursday night, same time. Everybody be good. Peace.
Peace.